Welcome to today's collective reading. This is Trinity Gaia Oracle. I first would like to welcome each and every one of you here and express my gratitude and my excitement to co-create this beautiful message for you guys. Please take what resonates, leave what does not. And with that, let's pull some power animal cards here. Let's see what Mother Earth, Gaia, would like to highlight for us today. Ooh, boy, all three came out together. That was very quick. She has an opinion. Or the very receptive nature of Mother Earth has an opinion. So first off, we have birds. Let's see if we can line this up. There we go. I think the artwork in these is just, I know I say it, but it's true. It's so true. It's so beautiful. So the symbology here for birds is soul, divinity, liberation, and creativity, rebirth. Sounds like some of you may have come out of your dark night of the soul and you're experiencing a new beginning. You're rebirthing, or you're choosing this. You're choosing to see the higher view, to rise above any adversity that's coming or been experienced. Then we have the swan. And with the artwork, there's so much symbolism in it. And I know that for a fair amount of you, because it's true for me, we're collective. I'm like part of this. My appreciation for the art is in and of itself to help you guys be able to see what is meant for you in each image, because there's two swans here. But there's also like a headdress, like a baby one, like a tiny one. And yet, like the moon, you have her there, a very feminine form. There's the lotus blooming and a larger moon. So much symbolism in this. Transformation, loss of innocence, and beauty. And if you wanted to freeze frame, I believe I did this with the other one, the first one. Let me just make sure, just in case. For the new viewers here, the reason that I really like to use this particular deck is that it pulls on shamanic tradition from all over the planet. So you're getting kind of a shamanic tradition of humanity. It's pulling it all together. It's beautiful. Now we have the eagle. So this is very avian influence, and that might be a synchronicity for you guys with, maybe if you identify with that aspect of, the extraterrestrial avians. The eagle, power, creation, illumination, and exploration. So, what's it like to fly? Have a little fun, have a little play with it. What does the view look like from here? Also on the top of the deck, by the way, we have the peacock, another bird. It says vision, wisdom, beauty, and guardianship. And then at the bottom, we have the fish, which is interesting because it's grounding it in. Oh boy, my hands are just shaking. Kind of an awkward angle there. There we go. It's very like Mohawk feel. And like pregnancy. Interesting. That might be a very key synchronicity for some watching. Feminine energy, fertility, and abundance. So that makes perfect sense. But you may be giving birth to a child. Keep in mind, this is the bottom of the deck. So this is what the peacock is actually. It's a very protective energy. The really beautiful patterns are typically seen on the masculine side of the species in peacock. The feminine is a little more subdued, so she's a little harder to locate, a little harder to prey upon, right? So his colors are vibrant, meant to protect her. And with the fish, with his fertility, yeah, whatever it is that you guys are creating, it be a new life, a project, a soul purpose, something you're passionate about, people, People are very important in this for a lot of you. It is being protected, and there is, whether it's the masculine energy within you or a masculine energy outside of you, regardless of gender, it's about energy. They are being one heck of a distraction while you do what you're doing. So, this guardianship, this guardianship, oh my gosh, interesting. The melding of the two, the guardianship. Whew, you must have some very powerful soul guides for them to be guardianshipping. just beautiful energy, guys. I'm excited. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, I think I bumped the mic there. I'm sorry. Still kind of getting used to this a little bit. All right. Let's see here. Let's go a little further into the oracle here. Okay. No. Let's see here. I'm going to do a quick resonance over this deck here. It felt a little, I don't know. This resonance sound, if you're really sensitive to sound, I invite you to just kind of pause for just a moment. However, this resonates to the vibration of the third eye. So I'm just going to get this going here for this particular deck. All right, that feels better already. Wonder what that's about. I don't think it's the deck itself. I think that it could be a synchronicity for you guys, because I don't typically get called to do that at the beginning of a reading, because I've done it before. Your third eye may be clearing, which makes perfect sense with all the birds that you're getting that higher view. You're getting more information. Oh, okay. That was a lot. That was a lot. So there's a lot that is wanting to come through for you guys. But like 6, 7 cards at once. Let's make it a little more succinct here. First thing we are going to do is pull on more of what's going on in the 3D, the grounded, the physical experience. What guidance is there? What do you need to know? What is asked for you to pay a little more closer attention to maybe question or start a form of inquiry? It's interesting. It's interesting because I don't typically get that this is what you may want to take a deeper look at and ask questions about. Specifically about asking questions. That makes so much sense. So much sense. The flipping acrobatics of number 42 breaks to a 6. Love, relationship, connection, the wonder hunter. How do you relate to actually having that higher view? Because notice this is a reindeer. This is not a bird. But she's got a bunch of butterflies coming out of her shawl. Or her scarf. Just a bunch. And it's like a purpley red. So it's intuitive, grounded into the physical. This is, how do you actually see this manifesting in your everyday life? This is beautiful energy that Gaia is asking you to be open to. And that's not disregarding the Trinity within Gaia. She is definitely a part of the consciousness source. She is a soul just like we are. She has wants and desires just as we do. And make no bones about it, she has an assertive masculine side. Just take a look at volcanoes and earthquakes. She has an opinion when she has an opinion. And she's doing so to take care of herself. So how are you balancing with that here? Because you have attained this. You have brought this opportunity into reality. You have been wanting this, manifesting it. Many different timeline versions of you have been working together with you to aid you in getting to this point. Now, how do you choose to write this story? How do you choose to relate to it? To visualize it? Oh, interesting. They're having me highlight that she is not, for any of you that are familiar with different horseback riding styles, there's the English version where both legs are over to one side for the feminine. In English horseback riding, men will basically do the same way of sitting on the saddle as they do in Western. However, women are to do both legs on one side because it was mainly developed when we wore huge skirts like this. So she's got that one knee very high up though. When you begin to experience this, how quickly are you to respond to just jumping off and going back to what you're familiar with? Are you open to being in that moment where it's new, it's unfamiliar, and letting yourself sit there for just a moment for more information to come in, for more change to occur, to help you to realize that you are exactly where you actually want to be before you jump off and go, this is too different. All right, so this next card is going to be around the element of air. So what do we know? What do we think? What have we learned? What have we studied? What knowledge have we been cultivating on this experience that has brought us to this point? And a very powerful card of the Phoenix here. I'm going to hold that up as best I can. There we go. So this is a number 4. So this is foundational. For you to be able to transmute, to know that you can transmute energy, whatever form it comes to you in, be it, mask, because there is a mask down here in the image in the bottom right corner. So this could be any mask that individuals decide to project upon you. That it's an action, it's something that's being directed at you, that you're just letting it fall right out of your awareness. You're automatically transmuting it into this beautiful, elevated, because yet again, a phoenix is a bird, a flaming, flying bird. By the way, there's a number synchronicity of 812, which can also be 218, which breaks down to 11 and then 2 yet again. 218 speaks to abundance. You have quite an abundant ability here. And if you haven't fully anchored in this confidence in that, you may know it's there. And that may be why you're like, oh, this is a little uncomfortable. I don't know. Trust that you've transmuted so much and that you have unlocked this. So you're going to be able to transmute even more than you realize. But you're stronger than you realize you are. Almost like the difficult mode has been taken off and now you get to just kind of see what it's like to be as knowledgeable as you are and play on easy mode. There's a certain setting in gaming that gamers will talk about. It's like God mode. After you beat the hardest of the hards, you could just go back and Okay, so let's move into the next element, which is fire. This is what you're willing into being. And we're going from knowing that you can transmute and fire being very present within this, that your will is powerful. And see where I'm getting that there's a hesitancy within you because you're aware of how powerful that is. And you feel the weight of that responsibility. And that is part of why you have that power, because you're humble to it. You're considerate of others as they go through and encounter your energy, yet you're protective of yourself. You're aware that this is like heavy is the head that wears the crown. You're aware you're making decisions beyond yourself, even in simple things such as where you go for coffee that morning. You never know who you're going to encounter. And you may encounter someone that you just, because you're there, they end up on a completely different path. And you have to trust that you're going in the direction you're meant to go, and you go with that intuition. you know that it's beyond just you, that there's guardians and there's guides, and there's so much that goes into every interaction that you have. Everything is orchestrated. There's no coincidence. Number 36, Weaver of the Red Tent. This 3-6 breaks to a 9. So this is manifestation. If you're curious about this, Nikola Tesla, he really had a great respect for the manifestation power of 369. He basically spoke to it as though it was the key to unlocking the universe. With the Weaver of the Red Tent, when reading the guidebook, it talks about community, belonging, and being that this is a feminine form here, it's being receptive to giving yourself space to be apart from. Because this red tent, it signalizes, oh my gosh, it's a signal and it's a synchronicity, and the melding of multiple words. It's interesting. It's like they're wanting to create new words through me right now that just, we don't have them in our language right now, but we can create them. Why not? So women would go into the red tent once a month, and they would have their time with other women that were going through their monthly, and it was a safe space for them to be and have that sense of community, the belonging with the other women. And if you notice here, there's this figure, this upside down figure, which to me says Hanged Man. Let's see if I can get that. And it's kind of a darker card, and then I have that glare. I'm working with the light in here because if I only have one lamp on, it really is too dark. However, there's a learning, a wisdom that is gained in this space when you're apart from the regular routines and cycles and the busyness of everyday life. You take time out to connect with the wisdom of the feminine, the receptive energy within those around you, especially within yourself. If you're connecting with ancestors or the Akash, like past life versions of you. Powerful. With the gold on her chest piece here, it's in the shape of a heart. Not only is she adorned, because she has like a shawl, what is it with shawls? She has a shawl that goes around her neck here, and then she has this breastplate necklace. So it's protected, and it's gold, so it's assertive. It's assertive. Like you're a leader in this. You're a keeper of wisdom. And the bells are around the crown. And it's being highlighted to me, the look on her face. It's like she knows that the spirit of the hermit resides within this red tent, this time out that we give ourselves away from the world, this retreat, meditation. Ooh. Also kind of getting belly dancing vibes. That's come through a couple of times. With the bells and the bangles on the wrist. So sense of belonging, going within, unlocking who you are, knowledge of yourself, and the wisdom within being receptive, whether you are a masculine or a feminine. If you're not receptive to abundance, it won't come because you're not open to it. If you're not open to it, the universe, source, the divine can't give it to you because you are giving that signal that you don't want it yet. So in this space, the inquiry, the question is, are you open to it? Are you ready to look at maybe why you haven't been, or change your relationship to whether or not you are open to it? And abundance does not necessarily mean money. It could be a new car. It could be a brand new blanket. It could be a really awesome, comfortable, amazingly just yummy pillow that you could just sleep so deeply cuddling with. It could be anything in the physical that increases your quality of life and the richness of your experience. All right, let's move into water. This is emotions, yes, but it's also intuition. And with the third eye being pretty prominent so far in this reading, being that this is the first one in quite some time where I've been called to use the singing bowl there. Let's see what we have for you guys in water. All right, we have the trailblazer. Okay. So, however you are learning this, however you are modeling this and moving through it, you are paving a new path. You are showing others the way. And there's so many different animals in this card, like so many different individuals with different balances of feminine, masculine, receptive, assertive. Some are, typical predator. Some are typical prey animals. Some are grazers, which is a less triggering way of saying prey. And some are hunters. So they're assertive, they're providing, they're protecting, they're defending, like with this lion. The prey animal here, I would say, would probably be bunny. Though to be honest with you, a predominant amount of these animals are more protectors. Now that I look really closely at it. We have a cat. We have a couple of coyotes, maybe a fox. We have lions, lionesses. We have a whole pride here of lions. And then you have this bird yet again. So you're connecting that above with that below. With that moon in the background, you've gone within. You're a hollow bone. And you're anchoring that in. You're allowing yourself to help others feel connected to a world that they've always belonged to. You're helping them to see themselves in you and your connection to the mystery. You know that you're not perfect. You know that you're humble in this. It's part of why we have this question around abundance and new beginnings and new things. And are you open to actually having this come in? Because, man, are you capable? You are so capable. Others do not see you the way you see yourself. You will find that very often in life. Okay, so at the top here, we have the dreamer, and the bottom, oh, they want me to do two. Interesting. So at the top, we have the dreamer, which is number 2. Your dreams, your desires, every single one of them, your source, your divine, is working to actively bring them into your reality, because source and you are not separate. You are of source, and source is love. And why wouldn't source desire to love itself, being that it is love? It's really what it's about, love. And then we have the companion, yet again, of belly dancing. And there is a masculine role in belly dancing. Many people, they don't necessarily know that. However, I had the opportunity at one point to actually witness a performance. And it was like she just was like flirty in how she danced around him, like she was teasing him. And he would be like, ha-ha, like bravado. And yet be completely appreciative of how vibrant and feminine and beautiful, empowered she was in her femininity. It was respectful. It was a really awesome thing to experience. And then we have the goddess of grace there. The goddess of grace it's a really special card to me in many ways, because this is something that many empaths we really struggle with. We struggle with having a firm line in our boundaries with others that it's easy for us to empathize with. It's easy for us to kind of get wrapped up in other people's stuff because our heart just goes out to them. However, it's a fine balance between having compassion and being consumed by their drama. And when it takes from you, you're not able to be your high self for the next interaction that you have with this person, and the next person, and the next person. And that's where this lotus comes in. You're aware of that power that you have. You're aware of the importance of that. And you're willing to go between the sword and the cup, between the truth and compassion. And sometimes you have to assert that boundary to protect your own energy and to model for others that are like you in this leading the way for other empaths what it is to be as compassionate and empathetic as you are, yet know that it is not bad. You're not a bad person for protecting your energy from other people that know that they can get your attention because you are compassionate, and it can become so consuming. I'm very clearly getting that there's like this empath, narcissistic kind of dance. And a lot of us, we have people that come into our lives, if you do identify as empathic, that are on the narcissistic scale because they are teachers to us. They help us to see ourselves in them. Oh, my kitty is meowing in the background. Yeah. Yeah, you're asking a question. They help us to see ourselves in them, and yet also to know when to let go, to know when we're actually possibly doing more harm to ourselves and them by staying. Because a lot of what you guys have learned, you've had to learn in hermit mode. You didn't have someone there holding your hand because you had to know yourself. You couldn't know yourself if you were knowing someone else going through it. So in some ways, when someone who has narcissistic tendencies, maybe not the personality, it can be simply a mask that an empath wears. Maybe they're not even narcissistic. Maybe they have developed that mask because they're surrounded by narcissists and they had to defend themselves. They had to learn how to exist in that environment. So your role is to show the way. Oh. Yes. Hi. Can I help you? Did you want to say hello to everybody? Oh. All right, Goob. All right, I'm going to pause her here, see what he would like. Okay, so he had food. He just wanted a little more. And his favorite treat. So, our pets, our animals, they play a really important role in our world. They help us in our ability to work through the energies that we encounter every day. So if you're really stressed, they will sometimes take that on for you. They're like energy filters. And sometimes when you're really going through a lot, it's too much for their bodies. So you can say to them, just like on those YouTube videos where they're like, hey, I've never actually given you my name. But yeah, I know you know your name. So the person introduces their pet to their own name. They're like, oh, by the way, you've been my dog or my cat for 4 years, but I've never introduced myself. You can do that when you're going through something really stressful, but instead, here he comes. You can say, this is for me to process. It's not for you. It's for me. I don't want you to take this on yourself. And you can talk to them that way. You can set that intention. You can clarify that energetic boundary. Because, well, they do help. They're a smaller body. And you have a much more prominent energy field to be able to handle more energy. They can help you with some, but if that is something that's going on for you, that may be something that could help you ease your mind and change the dynamic at the very least between you and your pet. So you know that they're good. You know that they're fine. Because in many ways, they're kind of stuck at a mental, emotional state of like a 4-year-old. They're very innocent and naive. That's why many people describe them as angels, just as we do children. All right, now, Looking at the time here. Let's see, do we want to go into a layer deeper here for you guys?